Okay, some of you know that I have been talking about doing my shed again, fixing it up and getting it all back to scratch. I've been using it for about 2 or 3 years now, and I need to upgrade, not upgrade, sort it out, get rid of stuff I don't need anymore. It's a mess. I've got these shelves here, which are just a shambles. I normally tidy up before I do any videos, but today I'm not doing any. As you can see, I've been doing some work over here. I've got my bar open sign down. What I've done is I've moved these lights. I've actually connected them to one circuit. So now when I turn my light on, they go off together, which never happened before. This is my main entry light, so that will go off and on just by flicking a switch. When I come in, that's the only one I use. That's LED as well. A few things I'm going to change. I'm going to remove these shelves. I hate them. I think they're just not right for this shed. I just want to get rid of them. And I'm going to actually leave that here. This is my lights, my camera stand. It's really good. I bought a couple of pine wood, to, you know, retro looking to suit the shed. I'm going to stain them. They're going to come out nice. I think they're going to fit up on here, so they're going to replace these, and this corner here are where all my fermenters are going to go. So I'm going to have them all on the ground down here. Probably throw away. I'll get rid of some fermenters. I don't need them. I just squashed a spider. Yak! He didn't bite me, which is good. So yeah, I'm going to redo this shed. First thing I'm going to do though is take everything out. So that's what I'm going to do now. Put it all here, which I've started already. Okay, so I've pretty much dismantled the area. I've left these up on the wall because they're going to stay there anyway. This is my my little corner shelf, mainly for my controller. That's just set there for now, and I'm going to bring my shelves, this thing here, to the same height so it works out. And they will be placed around about there, so that I'll have two on these on up at the top, and all my fermenters will go down here. That way I get more room on the bench over here. My intention is to minimize the stuff I have in here and basically grab all the bits I need to use for my brewing. I don't need the amount of stuff that I've got. I'm going to get rid of a couple of fermenters as well. Going to keep the more modern ones or more current ones, and give away some fermenters if I can to people who might need them. All right, I'll get back into it. So what I've got, these shelves, these brackets, but the problem I've got over here, there's no brace behind there. I actually have to screw into the bracket sideways, so when I mount the bracket, it'll go like that, and I'll actually drill a hole through here and here to hold it on, because I don't actually have anywhere to bolt it to this wall here. So that's what I'll do. It's going to need to go flush up against this edge and flush up against the back here as well. So I need a straight edge, something that will help me line it up properly. That's going to work. Likely about there, just roughly. That'll be after I make my drill holes in here and get it ready to bolt to the wall. So I guess the best thing I should do is this is the back. This is this part here. That's the wall. So I'm going to just drill offset to each one on each side so I can actually screw into it the old-fashioned way. Just get it to about there. Probably should be more in the middle. That's fine. And then mark our hole where we want the drill to go in, which is right there. What I'm doing is I'm trying to keep away from the other holes, because I am going to use these anyway just to be extra strong. And all I need to do now is drill this. That one quite easier. So we now have 2 new holes on the side, so I can bolt it against the wall. So I couldn't hold the camera at the time. That's my 1375 marker. What I've done is measured from the floor, up from the floor to 1350, which is about here, and then added 25mm, which is the thickness of our board. So now I should be able to bolt that bracket on. So what I'm doing is I'll use the top of this to give it the right angle, and that's my line right there. So that's the top, lines up to 1350, and that has to stay right where it is now. So that's that bit, all screwed in. Pretty solid, looks pretty good. I'm going to now have to run another one around here, but I'll have to measure my board. I think it's 1200. And then put another bracket in the same height, 1350. From the bottom of it though, is where I'll measure, so they're exactly the same height right across. I'll do that right now. Made a decision. I've got 3 shelves I want to put in, and what I've noticed is these are 1200 wide, these are not 1200 wide. I don't know what they are. Well, they're probably 1200 from the outside to here, which is fine. It just means I'm going to have to put a shelf up here, and then here put a shelf here, and a shelf up here again. Don't worry, it's staggered, and it should still work really well. Hopefully we'll try it anyway, see how it goes. So that's the first shelf, pretty solid. It's going to do. I will put a coating of lacquer on there to make it look nice. Now I'm going to put the second shelf a tier down. It's going to sit about here and go across and then back up again for the last one. So now that's done, I can film from there. So the highest height that my highest fermenter stands is under 1 metre. So it's going to be no more than 1 metre high. So I can bring the shelf up to at least over 1 metre high, and we should actually have, actually I might do 1 metre. If it's 1 metre high, then I will be able to put the fermenters under it, and I'll have a tiered section, and it should work really well, so I'll give that a go. So now I need to measure it. Well, I've got my stick. Wait. And I'll measure 1 metre from the floor up. There. My pen is somewhere. 1 metre. This is to the top. Oh, so it's going to have to be 1.25 because I want it to be 1 metre clearance on the bottom of the actual shelf. So I'm going to have to go 1.25, which is fine. That means I just have to do what I normally do. So the top of my bracket, this will sit, the top here will be 1 metre. That way the shelf sits on top. Can't see, oh yeah. Shelf sits on top here, and it's there. So it'll be right. Of course now I'm going to have to bring it up to the edge of this. This is going to have to come out. It's going to be the same deal as before, but this time I'm just going to take that out. Right, so what I have to do is the same thing I did before. Screw into the side of the bracket, and then mount that at the right height, and then do the same thing I did before with the other one. So we'll do that, and I'll get back to you. So now these are in. I'm going to hit them with a bit of decking oil, just to put a bit of protection on them. Let it set, which won't take too long. I'll just use a brush and brush it on, and I'll vacuum out the carpet area, all this area here, and start bringing all my stuff back in. Alrighty. Okay, so what do you think? They look great. I'm going to do one more coat on the top and that's it, and start setting up the shed. Now we're going to start packing it back up. As you can see, I've vacuumed and cleaned over here now, and the shelves are ready to go. Fairly dry, still need a bit more time to set, but that won't be a problem. I am going to first sort out what fermenters I want to keep and get rid of the rest. I have a few people I want to give them to, so I'll give them to them. There's a couple of situations I need to get through. Basically, I do winemaking, of course you know that, and beer making, of course. Now I have my new Apollo Titan fermenter, which I'll definitely have and keep and be using very often. It needs to be passivated, which means that I've got to put an acid wash through it to make it more resistant to corrosion. So I need to do that. I have to work out how to do that, but I have done one brew in it. If I continue to do brews in it, I will have issues later. At the moment, it's not a big deal, but you know, if I want to keep this for a long time, I'm going to have to passivate it to make sure that it is corrosion proof. So I'll do that in the future, but I'm going to keep that. I also have a Firmzilla all-rounder I want to keep. Got the Fermentosaurus, which I use for winemaking, which I'll continue to use for wine. Maybe I won't actually. I don't need that one. I won't keep the Fermentosaurus again. I'll get rid of that. That's an old one anyway. Let me see, what else have we got? I'll go and get them. I'll put them aside and I'll figure out what I'm going to use. Out of these 5, now 5 meaning that one up there has actually got beer in it. It's been fermenting. It's fermenting at the moment, which is finished. I have to get rid of it, but I have to clean this place up first. I want to keep the Firmzilla, the Apollo, the standard fermenter bucket, and the Apollo Titan, which I just got. It's a brand new unit. There's no way I'm getting rid of that for a very long time. It's going to last me forever, this one. And I'm going to place them. The other ones I have left over, which I never use, is the Fermentosaurus, which is here, that bloke, and the what's this one? This is a Firmzilla all-rounder. Firmzilla, yeah, all-rounder, is it? I think there's the one with the catch bowl on the bottom, which I'll give away as well. I'll still keep my secondary glass carboy, so that's going to be stored. The rest of it's going. So first thing I do is find spots for all these. All right, we're finished. Well, mostly. I have done all my shelving work, sorted all my gear out. Over here is my pipe work, everything I need to do for fermenting and transferring. Just a couple of bits of junk that I have to move around. This will change over time, but at the moment it's pretty much where I want it to be. This is going to be my beer shelf, and it's also going to be my backdrop for when I do videos. Over here is my grains. These are all the grains I've got at the moment. I do have a bucket of mixed ones over there, but there's not many that are like these. That's actually rice hulls, a bit of dark, what do you call that, barley, and just normal, it's probably says it on there, it's probably a Marisota. There you go. Over here I have all my kegs, and that's where they're going to stick and stay. They're going to stay there forever, basically, is where I'm going to put them. I have 4 fermenters on the floor here, which is my Apollo, my snub nose, my plastic fermenter bucket, and what was that one? That one's the Apollo, yeah, Apollo. And this one is my Chubby, which is actually doing a bit of a job at the moment. It's nearly finished, actually. I've got to start transferring. Got little bugs flying around there. So that's finished. I needed to set it up so I had my bike, because I train on my bike in here, and I need to have the room to do that, and that's one of the reasons why I got rid of the shelving here, to give me room. Over here I've got a stand that I've had for a few years, and I want to turn it into maybe a microphone mount or something like that. I'm not sure how I'm going to use that yet. And all this junk up here, I'll have to sort that out today. That's all going to go. And I just thought I might just give you a heads up on where I've got to, and everything else except for that is where I want it. So I'm going to move that away. Don't know what I'm going to do with this. It's a gift my mum gave me, and I don't want to ruin it and lose it. So I don't play it, but I wanted to learn how to use it, and one day I will. I might just hang it up on there. I might just do that. That'll work. That's not going anywhere. How about that is going there. Okay, I'll fix that properly later. So we are done. Mostly. I will change it, like I said, and make it better. So these shelves are going to be used for just storing my stuff. Basically anything that I don't want on the ground. The coal needs to be kept off the ground to keep dry. There for my Weber barbecue, and I do have another kettle that's not so good. The Weber's much better. I do a lot of roasts. I do smoking and everything else on there. It's really nice. So thanks guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Thank you for watching this shed series. I'm sure it is interesting. I hope it is. And I would like to thank my patrons for supporting this channel. Absolutely awesome, you guys. I can't do this without you. It's just phenomenal. If I didn't have the patron support, I probably wouldn't be able to do half the stuff I'm doing. Cheers guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Cheers.